Hello students, in previous lecture we had discussed paper pattern of CS1 and then we had started with HTML. As we had discussed, HTML, full form of HTML is Hypertext Markup Language. It is used to give extra features to the ordinary text using markup tags. So before learning in detail about HTML, I want to start with HTML code. I have to write this HTML code in a notepad. I'll search for notepad, open notepad, and I will write the HTML code in the notepad. HTML head, title, welcome, title close, head close, body, welcome to my web page, body close, HTML close. Now I will save this in a location. For example, I'll save it on desktop, 12 CS lecture and CS1. I want to save it. I'll give the name to the HTML document as first, but I have to give extension as .htm or .html. So I'll give .html and I will save it. After saving the HTML document, I will open it with a web browser. So I want to open it. For example, I will right click on the HTML document which I have created and open it with any of the web browser. For example, I'm using Google Chrome. See, can you see the title? I had given title as welcome, and this was the content specified on the body tag. So what we had done, we had opened the notepad, we had written the HTML code in the notepad, and I had saved it in a particular location with the file name and its extension as .html. And then after saving the file, I will open the file with any of the web browsers. There are many web browsers like Internet Explorer, Google Chrome, Firefox. There are many. So you can open it with any web browser of your choice. So as you can see, the code, HTML code, this HTML code, it has HTML tag and it has ending HTML tag. So this tag determines that this is an HTML document to the web browser, because there is an interpreter in the web browser which interprets the content written in the file. By encountering this HTML tag, the web browser will come to know that this document is HTML document. Then this is the head tag and this is the end tag of the head. Head tag stores the metadata of the document. Metadata means data about data. Like as you can see, the web page I am creating has the title welcome. So this is nothing but a data about data, you can say. It holds the data about my web page, the title of the web page which I had given as welcome. Title should be within the head tags. Okay, starting head tag and the ending head tag. Title tag is closed before the end tag of the head tag. Okay. Now, whatever content I want to display on my web page should be in the body tag. So here's the body tag. Whatever content I want to display in the body, I will write that. Body tag close and HTML tag close. HTML ending HTML tag determines that this HTML document ends here. So I will open it with any of the web browsers. I want to open it with Chrome, and here it is. Okay, so you have to by heart the sequence. If I want to open it with Notepad, again I will right click on this, open with Notepad. So as you can see, the series of the tag should be in this series, in this sequence only. First HTML, then head, title, title close, head close, body, contents of the body, and then body close, HTML close, HTML head, title, title close, head close, body, body close, HTML close. Okay, this should be the sequence of the tags in your HTML document. Now we will start with the chapter. This is chapter 4, HTML. HTML is an evolving language. Evolving means it's still in development phase. There are still changes are being made to this language. There are chances that few tags are supported by some of the web browsers, and some of the web browsers will not support those tags because it is constantly evolving, and few tags might have become obsolete, and some tags might be new for the older web browser. Okay, so HTML is an evolving language. As I told you, it's HTML stands for hypertext markup language. Okay, now this HTML document is a text file. It's a text file containing small markup tags which gives extra features to the ordinary tags. That we'll be learning in detail what are markup tags. So these markup tags are nothing but instructions given to the browser how to display the page. Like that content should be in italics, that content should be in bold. Here the image should be aligned in the center, likewise. Okay. The extension of the file should be h.html, htm or .html. Okay. Then the HTML file be created using a simple text editor like Notepad. Just now we had seen an example. We had written that code in Notepad. Okay. HTML was invented by Tim Berners-Lee while at CERN, the European Laboratory for Particle Physics in Geneva. Now why HTML? Why HTML? Hypertext is an ordinary text, as I had told you. HTML is used to give extra features to the ordinary text. So hypertext is an ordinary text with formatting facilities, and markup is the process of taking ordinary text and adding extra features to it. By now you'll understand this sentence. Thus the HTML documents are text files. Of course they are text files. As you had seen, this HTML document is a text file. Okay. Where it is, yeah, documents are text file made up of HTML elements. HTML elements like body, head, title. These are the elements. HTML elements that define a document and guide its display. HTML is a collection of platform independent style. The term platform independent means the HTML document, I can run my HTML document on any machine, on any operating system, not necessarily only in Windows. I can open it in Unix, Linux. It is compatible. It is platform independent. It is not specific to the particular operating system, you can say. So it is platform independence, okay, that define the various components of a World Wide Web document. because HTML is a worldwide web document. HTML provides the user with a consistent interface. Okay. Of course, HTML is a set of instructions given to a web browser for formatting and layout of web pages. Because HTML is used to develop web pages, HTML determines the web browser how the contents of my web page should be displayed. Okay. There is a possibility that some web browsers will interpret HTML code differently. Okay. HTML code may differ since different browsers may interpret them differently. Now we will learn advantages of HTML. HTML is easy to use, learn, implement, and flexible. It is easy to use. Of course, it's easy to use. Second, advantages, powerful formatting facilities. We can format the contents of my web page. Third, HTML documents are device and platform independent. I can run that HTML document on my cell phone or on a laptop. Okay, since it can be designed to work not only home PCs, also on graphical workstations. Like graphical workstations means graphical workstation is similar to CAD workstation. CAD means computer aided design. It is used to design the layout of a building. Okay, graphic cards. It requires graphic cards. Like these are the graphical workstations. Dumb terminals. Dumb terminals means the monitor which doesn't have its own processing, that is known as dumb terminal. One of the example of dumb terminal is which are used in airlines, and smart terminals are, for example, ATM. Okay, ATM is an example of smart terminal. The monitor has its own processor. Okay, network computers. Network computer is an inexpensive personal computer designed for a centrally managed network. That means data are stored and updated on a network server, and it doesn't have its own disk drive, CD-ROM. Okay. Then handheld devices, for example, uh, your phone is a handheld device. Then fourth advantage is you can traverse, okay, from one document I can jump to another document with the facility available called hyperlink. Fifth advantage is required HTML pages can be updated easily without changing the whole document. If I want to change a particular content on my web page, I will target specifically on that. I will not have to change the entire document. Then I don't have to rely on application or program vendor. There are softwares which are sold by some of the vendors which a company purchase, and as a support we require third party person to help us, to guide us how to use a software. But that is not the case while using HTML. We require a text editor which is normally available within our PC. Okay. Eighth is no expensive licensed software or hardware required. Now disadvantages of HTML. One of the disadvantages, it doesn't offer programming languages features like we have in C++, encapsulation, polymorphism, inheritance. These features are not there. Second, it is easy to write bad HTML containing errors. There are chances that we might skip a an angular bracket somewhere in the HTML document. So like This is known as angular bracket. Okay. Third, complex HTML code is hard to read, of course. It's hard to read and understand. Code complexity increases to make interactive web pages. Okay. Interactive web pages, for example, if you are developing a web page in which the user wants to fill in the details, then the complexity of web pages has become more complex. Then if what do you understand by events? We had studied in Visual Basic in 11th standard. Events like on-click event, on-keystroke event. When I click a mouse, something should happen. That is an event. So for different events, I require scripting languages like VBScript, JavaScript. Validations. Validations means if you are putting in password, the password should not be, the password should not contain any number. So that is an example of validation. Can't detect errors easily if I have made some mistake in a document. It is not easy to detect that error easily because there is no debugging tool. Now, we'll start with HTML documentation. As we know, HTML documents are plain text. We require editors to develop a web page, to develop an HTML document. There are different types of text editors and there are different types of HTML editors. The three categories are HTML text editors, HTML code editors, HTML design tools. Text editor. One of the examples which we have seen is Notepad HTML. That is an example of text editor. HTML code editors. These editors may or may not be WYSIWYG. WYSIWYG means what you see is what you get. What you see is what you get means there are editors available in which you only have to drag and drop. Like in VB, what we used to do, we only used to drag the button and drop over the form. We were not required to write the code from the code to show a button on the form. It was just drag and drop and behind the code was automatically generated. So this is WYSIWYG. What you see is what you get. So there are HTML design tools available. Okay. HTML elements. HTML elements are like body, head. These are the HTML elements. There are other elements which we'll be learning in detail in the further part of the chapter. The table is one of the element, paragraphs, lists. Elements plain text can also be an element of the HTML document. Okay. HTMLs can contain plain text, other elements, or both. This we have learned. HTML tags are used to mark up HTML elements. HTML elements like plain text. HTML tags are used to mark up HTML elements. Then HTML elements like plain text, table, list. HTML tags are surrounded by two characters, or you can say angle brackets. HTML tags normally come in pairs, as you have seen it here. Body tag is in pair. So They are usually paired by start and the end tag. The first tag in a pair is the start tag, and the second tag is the end tag. The text between the start and end tags is the element content. HTML tags are not case sensitive. Not case sensitive means this HTML, small html and capital HTML is one and the same thing. It is not case sensitive. Now, if I want to make this content bold, so I will use B tag. B tag is for bold. See. And it has end tag, again B. I will save it and open it with the web browser. Open with any of the web browsers. See, it is in bold. So the text between the start and end tags is the element content. Small b and capital B mean the same thing because HTML is not case sensitive. This tag we will be learning in detail in the further chapters. An HTML document is composed of a single element that is in turn composed of head and body elements that we have seen in our example. Now tag attributes. What are tag attributes? I will explain you this. Here is one tag which is font color is equal to red. I will save it and refresh it. Can you see the color of this text has turned into red? I wanted to change the color of welcome into red. So for that, there is one tag called font. It has attribute color and this color has value red. So color is the attribute of tag font. So if you will see what is written here, tags can have attributes. Attributes can provide additional information about the HTML elements on your page. HTML elements I told you, it can be table, it can be font, it can be body, okay, included inside the start tag. Attributes can provide additional information about the HTML elements on your page included inside the start tag. Attributes always come in name value pairs like this. Name is equal to value, as I had told you, I had shown you in the example. This is the name of the tag. Sorry, this is the tag. This is the name of the attribute and this is the value of the attribute. So the syntax is tag name, attribute name, and the value of the attribute. We will be learning about this img tag in the further topics. So we leave it here. Here our motive was to learn about tag attributes that we have understood by looking at the example here in this font tag. Okay. Some useful tips while writing HTML documents. There are 7 tips they have given that HTML is not case sensitive. Second, all tags are not supported by all World Wide Web browsers. Third tip, when you write HTML text, you can never be sure how the text is displayed in another web browser. Okay, the text will be reformatted every time the user resizes his window. Then next tip is truncate the spaces. Truncate the spaces means that no matter how many space I give after this mine, no matter, I can give as many spaces I want. Okay, and I will save it and open it with web browser. Still I can see that there is only one space. So so truncate the spaces in your text. Any number of spaces counts as 1. Using empty paragraphs to insert blank lines is a bad habit. For example, P is a paragraph text. I'll give you the example of paragraph tag. This web page gives information about HTML. HTML stands for Hypertext Markup Language. Now I will save this. I'll press Ctrl S and open it with the web browser, refresh it. Can you see? If you have used enter also, it will consider it as one space. So if I want to show this as one paragraph, complete different paragraph from this line, so I will use P tag before this line, P. And here I want to end the sentence. I will save it, Ctrl S. Again I will refresh it. See. But here in the textbook, what it's trying to say is using empty paragraphs P to insert blank lines is a bad habit. Use the BR tag instead. Blank line means if I want to break, like if I had not used this P tag over here and the output was this, I want to break this line from here. So instead of using P tag, that is paragraph tag, I will use BR tag, that is break tag. Let us use BR tag. I will use BR. I will save it, Ctrl S, and I will refresh it. See, the line has broke. So empty paragraph, use the BR tag instead. You might have noticed that paragraphs can be written without the closing tag. Actually, the paragraphs has closing tag, but BR tag is the tag which doesn't have closing tag. There are tags which doesn't have closing tag, but P is a tag which has a closing tag. But the paragraph tag can also be written without the closing tag, but we should not rely on this because as the HTML is evolving, the next version of HTML might not allow you to skip any closing tags. HTML automatically adds an extra blank line before and after some elements. As we had seen when we had used paragraph, one extra line was added before. As we can observe the extra line before because there was no line after that paragraph. See, instead of BR, if I will use P, there will be one extra line before this paragraph. I will save it and I will refresh it. See, can you see? There is one extra line between these two. Now we'll start with the minimal HTML document. This we had discussed. Every HTML document should contain certain standard HTML tags. Each HTML document should have head and body. The head contains the title and the body contains the actual text that is made up of paragraphs, lists, and other elements. Browsers expect that web browser, Google Chrome, expect specific information because they are programmed according to HTML and HTML specification. HTML has evolved from SGML. SGML means Standard Generalized Markup Language. So this is an HTML document. HTML determines the web browser that this is an HTML document. It should have head tag in which we will give the title of the web page and the head tag is closed, and we will give body tag. We'll use body tag. This will contain the text of the body close and HTML close. We should save it with the extension .htm or .html. Now we'll start with basic HTML tags. Basic HTML tags, that is most important tags in HTML, are tags that defines headings, paragraphs, line breaks. So this we will continue in the next video. For today, we will stop here. Thank you.